I have a history of metabolic issues, and so learning this basic science really helped me understand how to reverse and prevent my own health issues and the health issues of clients I work with. In order to understand how metabolic disease happens, we need to understand how the metabolism works. We're going to learn a few main terms: energy, metabolism, ATP, and homeostasis. And then some secondary terms like insulin and glucose. Energy is the ability to do physical work in daily life. Examples of energy are electrical energy, heat, chemical energy, and mechanical energy. In the human body, we convert food, which is chemical energy, into ATP, which is mechanical energy. And we use that mechanical energy for everything. So all you need to remember is our body converts food into ATP, which is how we exist and do things. Metabolism is the sum of all chemical reactions in the body that either use or create ATP. For example, a protein being broken down into amino acids, which is catabolic or energy breaking down, and amino acids being used to build up muscle is anabolic or energy creating. So just remember that ATP is the energy we use to have a functioning metabolism, and metabolism is the body either breaking down or creating energy. So lots of ATP equals a robust metabolism, which equals someone who can use and produce a lot of energy. The breaking down of food through digestion is how food becomes glucose in our blood to be taken up by our cells and converted into ATP. So you can see it's all just a big cycle. When the demand for energy is comfortably met, this cycle is called homeostasis. The energy demands of the body are kind of always changing, but in general, if we are existing comfortably and this cycle has no issues, we are in homeostasis. So what happens when the cells of the body cannot produce ATP to meet the energy demands of the metabolism? Metabolic disease is when we don't have enough ATP to carry out normal bodily functions. That is why those with severe type 2 diabetes can sometimes experience loss of vision, and why women with PCOS experience a loss of fertility. Often, one of the first symptoms of metabolic dysfunction is chronic fatigue, because there is an energy deficit. So what causes this energy deficit? In general, the intake of foods that surpass our energy needs in high amounts causes a long-term adaptation, which we know as insulin resistance. Insulin is the hormone that gets the glucose out of our blood and into our cells, which is a very important step in the cycle because we need to convert glucose to ATP inside the cell so we can use it to power the cells. At a cellular level, this is super complex, but essentially what happens is the cells get desensitized to insulin, and so they don't allow glucose in. Seeing as glucose gets turned into ATP, and ATP is how the metabolism functions, we kind of need it, and when we don't get it, we get metabolic dysfunction and eventually disease. Since this glucose can't go into cells, it gets stored as adipose tissue. Some of the most common metabolic diseases we see today are type 2 diabetes, PCOS, cancer, non-alcoholic fatty liver, and Alzheimer's disease. But metabolic dysfunction starts with symptoms. Some of the symptoms I had were chronic fatigue, anxiety, depression, joint pain that was so bad I couldn't walk some days, and even rashes and boils that would appear on my legs. The simple solution to metabolic disease is to find a way to eat in energy balance and to focus on creating more cells in the body that create and use energy easily. Muscle cells are cells that create and use energy easily. In other words, eating a diet that is easy to stick to long term, that is nutrient dense and doesn't make us overeat, and lifting weights consistently with the goal of building muscle. I have some videos that I'll link below on how to eat and train for optimal nourishment and muscle growth. Another piece in this very complex puzzle is inflammation. Chronic inflammation due to metabolic issues will make the immune system attack the body, which can be a cause of symptoms as well. So it may be smart to work with a functional medicine healthcare professional to do some labs and get to the bottom of your unique root cause. So there you have it. That is my ultra simplified explanation of how humans use and produce energy to improve metabolic dysfunction. Click the link in the description for my free cookbook with recipes that are easy to stick to long term. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more tips on nutrition, fitness, and health, and fun little science explained videos like this one. As always, remember that your journey is unique and it's entirely within your power to cultivate a healthy, joyful life. See you next time, and happy training.